you're allowed to shoot up to 6 deer in Ohio. That's if you don't draw any of the controlled hunts, because those numbers don't count towards your bag limits, except for
Okay.
if it's an antlered
Yep.
deer. You only get one antlered deer. It doesn't matter how you got it. One antlered deer
One
only,
antler
right?
deer. Okay.
And then but if you get those control hunts, if you are like, let's say super, super lucky and you drew enough where you could harvest additional six, you could eventually get 12 deer in Ohio if you got drew like really
Okay.
luckily in the controlled hunts. That's not going to happen. But let's say you had a really lucky year, like you probably should have played the lottery that year too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
during that application process too,
Yeah.
you could shoot up to 12. He's like, but 1.3 is the average amount of deer that are shot, right? If you look at our doe to buck harvest, it's not 1 for 1, but it's really close. I bet you the ratio is actually still close to that 1.3.
Mhm.
1.3. So it's 1.3 does are being harvested for every buck that's shot in Ohio. And um, the issue behind that is not necessarily the opportunities that we give people. And that's how the states try to, it's the low lying fruit for them is let's give people more opportunity to go out and let's give them longer opportunity to go out and manage deer herds. It's not, he's like, that's not doing it. It doesn't matter what we make the bag limits, because in Ohio, you used to be able to shoot 18 deer. And whoever on TikTok wants to argue with me about this, you know who you are. You could have shot 18 deer in Ohio at a certain point in time. You can't do it now. They reduced the bag limit down to six, and that was, but it didn't matter even then. Like there are very few people who will shoot more than two deer in Ohio. Very few. And he said, doesn't matter if you go to Wisconsin, doesn't matter if you go to Michigan, doesn't matter if you go whatever these states that have these large number of deer you're allowed to shoot.
Yep.
The average hunter still shoots about 1.3. Now, your guys' average might be a little different. I mean, I can't say that
No,
100% different,
no,
but it's
I would say it's pretty close. So,
because most people, they're out hunting, let's be honest, they're shooting a buck. And once they shoot
yeah.
a buck, they're done.
Mhm.
Like, I'm done. And
Yep.
there's a lot of things that go into that. Like I can't just point my finger at this being the exact reason for that culture. Like you have the old timers who, when they grew up, there was hardly any deer, so they don't like to shoot antlerless deer because they're afraid that they're going to reduce
The
there's
deer.
some
Yep.
deep seated
Yep.
resentment to it, right? But then you have the ones that just absolutely like just don't want to deal with a doe. They're like, no, I don't have the time to deal with it. I'm out here for my buck. I get my buck. I'm done. Because
Yep.
you guys are allowed 2 bucks in Ohio,
You're allowed to. Yep.
Michigan. And do you know what your percentage is on the guys on the second buck tag? How many people
It's
are?
a lot less. I mean, it's a lot less. To harvest 2 bucks is you have to have, like, bucks galore running around your property or something like that, or, I'm sure guys every year have 2 bucks and can get 2 bucks, and that's great. So,
Mhm.
but no, I don't know the percentage off the top of my head. The they tried to do APRs in certain sections of Michigan, and they make it super confusing. So, like, the overall general rule here, I'll just kind of throw this out there, is your first buck has to have one antler that has to be 3 inches long to be considered an antlered deer. Your second deer has to be a 4 point or bigger. So, when you shoot a deer, you have to debate on, do I shoot or do I tag it with the 3 inch longer antler tag or the 4 point tag on there.
Mm, okay.
It is it is so confusing that guys will shoot deer into, instead of going, hmm, I don't want to shoot another buck because I could get in big trouble, because what if
Mhm.
I shoot a smaller buck and I use my 3 inch longer tag or whatever? I forget. It's a 3 inch. It's length in one's point is basically what it is. So what, you shoot one, and then yeah, it's a 3 point. Well, shit, I just put my 4 point tag on that one, and I guess I got to use this last one. So it's a it's a gambling thing.